We're live, Your Worship.
Great, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome our council staff and those who may be watching by way of Zoom to our special council session Friday, May 26, 2023. As we know, this is an important meeting for us to consider and approve our budget for the year of upcoming year. So I'll call the meeting to order. We acknowledge we're in Mi'kmaq, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Shelley, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Mayor Scott.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Joseph.
Present.
Councillor Gould.
Present.
Councillor Gilroy.
Present.
Councillor Hotelling.
Present.
Councillor Redmond.
Present.
Councillor McCormick.
Present.
Councillor Porter.
Present.
And Councillor Goodwin.
Present.
Thank you, Shelley. 2.1, the agenda is approval of the agenda. So everyone would have a copy of the agenda has been circulated. I'd ask for a motion to approve the agenda as presented, please. Whoops. I think I just lost everybody, Shelley.
I'll move, Murray. Councillor Redmond.
Yeah, moved by Councillor Redmond, seconded by Councillor Gilroy. All those in favor say aye. Contrary minded, nay.
Aye.
Contrary minded, nay. Motion is carried. Thank you. That brings us down to number 3, the major organizational item, which is for today, the 3.1. It's our budget for 2023, 2024. I believe Ms. Hurdle, our Director of Finance, is going to speak to this before we start into our motions in regards to the budget. Amy, please.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. So we have gone over this in detail at several meetings. So there is a summary report in your package. It is a little different than what you've seen in the past. It's more, I don't know, summarized. So I'm hoping you all had a chance to take a look at it last night or early this morning. I'm not going to go through it in major detail. I'm just going to hit some of the high points. All of this we've discussed. So the residential tax rate is reduced as discussed by 3 cents, and the commercial tax rate is reduced by 5 cents to $1.14 for residential and $2.71 for commercial. All other rates have remained the same for the municipality. The total tax levy for residential and commercial taxes is 2.1 million higher than last year. There were significant cost pressures for 2023 and 2024, as we have discussed. These included policing costs, education costs, wages and benefits for staff, insurance went up quite a bit, and the solid waste contract. The mandatory costs you'll see in the summary report make up about a third of the overall budget. And keeping in mind that these costs, the municipality really has no control over. And the other thing I wanted to mention was the fire services review. So the operating budget does include some significant investments in fire services based on the review, including 2 new positions beginning in January 2024 that we've budgeted for, and over $400,000 budgeted to transfer to reserves for future capital purchases for the fire departments. So it's a significant investment in those fire services for the municipality. In terms of the capital budget, which you'll see on page 16 to 20, it includes significant investments in infrastructure in the municipality, including the Junction Road project, which we've had lots of discussion about at 7.7 million, as well as the Athol Road project of about 2.5 million. And then it also includes some significant investments for fire services in the capital budget, including 2.4 million budgeted for the replacement of 2 fire halls, 1.5 million for the replacement of fire trucks, and over $400,000 for equipment for the fire halls, including SCBA packs, bunker suits, and communication equipment. So there has been a significant investment in the fire services in this budget. So unless there's any questions, I I'm going to turn it back to you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Amy. So, folks, there were several motions to be made here. It is different than we've done in the past. Mr. Herrick will follow along with us and correct me so we don't miss anything. Want to make sure that everything's passed at this open council meeting, that we don't miss any part of the budget. It's so important for us going forward for operating. So we'll begin with the first one under 3.1 is the estimates of revenue and expenditures. You all have a copy of that. It talks about the revenues for the municipality and the expenditures we're anticipating for this upcoming year. Recommended motion is that council accept the following estimates of the sums required by the municipality of the county of Cumberland for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2024, prepared in accordance with section 72 of the Municipal Government Act. And again, those expenditures and revenues are listed there. I'd ask for a motion to accept that, please. Moved by Deputy Mayor Joseph, seconded by Councillor Gould. Any questions for Amy in regards to that motion or Greg? Seeing none, call for the question. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand. Contrary minded, nay. Seeing none, passed unanimously. Thank you. The next one is the tax rates. So the motion is that the municipality of the county of Cumberland for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2024, the tax rates are as follows. And there's a list of the tax rates, including residential for 114, commercial 271, parcel area rate, residential 48 cents per hundred, commercial 119, Spring Hill area rate, residential 48 cents per hundred, and commercial 119. Recommended motion is that next one is that sewage collection and treatment rates, that the municipality, back to that, so that the municipality of Cumberland for the fiscal year ending March 31, 2024, the tax rates are as follows. So that's for motion for that on that regard, please. Moved by Councillor Redmond, seconded by Councillor McCormick. Any questions for Ally or Greg in that regard? Seeing none, we'll call for the question. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand. Contrary minded, nay, or raise your hand. Not seeing any. Passed unanimously. Thank you. The third one is that the municipality, that for the municipality of the county of Cumberland for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2024, the rates for each of the sewage collection and treatment system are as follows. And they're listed in your package there. I won't read those all off. If council agrees, I'd ask for a motion in that regard, please. Moved by Councillor Gilroy, seconded by Councillor Hotelling. Any questions or comments for Greg and or Amy in that for that agenda item? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand. Contrary minded or raise your hand. Seeing none, that is passed unanimously. Thank you. The next one is number 4, that the uniform flat rate for assessment for the account for the municipality of county of Cumberland for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2024 for properties fronting rural street light systems be $33.49. Ask for a motion for that, please. Moved by Councillor Hotelling, seconded by Councillor Gilroy. Any questions or comments for our staff for that? Seeing none, call for the question. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand. Contrary minded, nay. Motion is carried. Thank you. Number 4, that the uniform flat rate for assessment of the county municipality of Cumberland for properties fronting rural. No, I guess we already did that one, didn't we? That was the 4th one, Greg.
4th one, your worship, is maintenance of and improvements of private roads. It's the Jackson's Point Road Association.
Okay, so so the recommended motion that the following rate for the maintenance improvement of private roads for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2024 be billed and collected at the same rate and time in the same manner as municipal taxes. So that's for motion in that regard, please. Moved by Councillor Gilroy, seconded by Councillor Gould. Any questions or comments in regards to that agenda item? Seeing none, I'll call for the question. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand. Contrary minded, nay. Motion is carried. Passed unanimously. Thank you. Number 6, that the following village rates for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2024 be billed and collected at the same time in the same manner as municipal taxes. And there's a list them there for Pugwash and River Hibbert. Ask for motion in that regard, please. Moved by Councillor Hotelling, seconded by Councillor Gould. Any questions or comments in regards to that agenda item? Seeing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand. Contrary-minded, nay. Or raise your hand. Seeing none, the motion is passed unanimously. Thank you. The next one is number 7. That the due date for the 2023-24 tax levy and other rates be July 14th, 2023, with interest to be charged on outstanding tax accounts on or after July 15th, 2023, at the rate of 1.25% per month, 15% per annum. Ask for motion in that regard, please. Moved by Councillor Redmond, seconded by Deputy Mayor Joseph. Any questions or comments for that agenda item? Seeing none, we'll call for the question. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand. Contrary-minded, nay, or raise your hand. Seeing none, motion is passed unanimously. Thank you. Number 8 includes our general capital, the water capital. It includes in principle the 4-year capital budget plan that's presented is all included in that motion. So that the motion is that council approves the municipality of the county of Cumberland general capital budget for the fiscal year ended March 31st, 2024 as presented in the amount of $16,740,708, and that the water utility capital budget for the March 31st, 2024 fiscal year in the amount of $4,864,121 to be funded as follows. And that would be as a list I just indicated. That's all there for your information, and that will be part of that motion. So I'd ask for motion to approve that, please. Moved by Councillor McCormick, seconded by Councillor Gilroy. Any questions or comments for Amy and or Greg in regards to that capital plan? Seeing none, we'll call for the question. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand. Contrary-minded, nay, or raise your hand. Motion is approved unanimously. Thank you. The last one is number 9, which is our general borrowing resolution. You'll be able to read in the document. There's quite a bit of information there. I won't read it all, but it basically relates to the ability for the municipality to borrow future. So the general borrowing is it's the general borrowing resolution to authorize the borrowing of certain monies from the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce to meet the current expenditure of the corporation and municipality of the county of Cumberland, hereafter called the corporation, for the year ending March 31st, 2024. So where it is necessary to borrow a sum of $11,500,000 from the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce to meet the new current expenditure of the corporation until such time as taxes to be levied, therefore can be collected. And there's a list there for your information. I'd ask for motion in that regard, please. Moved by Councillor McCormick, seconded by Deputy Mayor Joseph. Any questions or comments for Amy and or Greg in regards to the general borrowing resolution?
Your worship, if I could.
Yes, please.
I just wanted to provide some explanation on that last motion. It's a general borrowing resolution for $11,500,000. We seldom use that facility, but it's an operating line of credit, if you will, or overdraft, however you want to characterize that. And it's simply there to smooth out cash flows. There are years when we don't use it at all. And it's a temporary, it waxes and wanes with our cash flow requirements if it is used. So just want to be clear that we're not going out borrowing $11 million and over a long term. So thank you, Your Worship.
Good. Thank you very much for that explanation. It's great for us to understand that. So any other comments or questions? If not, I'll call for the question. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand. Contrary-minded, nay, or raise your hand. Motion is carried. Thank you, folks. Look, before we close, Greg, I don't know if you, Amy, have anything to say, but I do want to say this. I want to thank our staff for a lot of hard work over the last number of months. As we know, Amy came into this as Director of Finance just recently, so she was handed a lot of work to get done in a real short time. So Amy, on behalf of the council, I just want to say thank you so much, and to your staff. I know worked very hard with you in presenting this budget for us, Greg, to all your staff. And I want to thank council too, because there's a lot of decisions made around this budget to get before us today and for the public to understand. We're faced with a lot of challenges when it comes to increased costs, just like taxpayers are in their own homes. And I think council has taken these on very responsibly. And I think you've actually delivered a budget here from the staff and through council. I think a budget's been delivered to the municipality for folks to be able to understand why we're doing what we are. We put a lot of emphasis on the fire service. It's in the budget. We did all we can to try to limit the tax burden on residents by lowering as best we could those tax rates, both residential and commercial. So, you know, I think you should be proud of the budget we presented here today, and I just want to thank everybody for the part they played in this. Councillor Hotelli, I think you had your hand up.
No, I was just applauding the new director of finance. Thank you, Amy.
Okay. Again, folks, thanks to everybody for this great work. And I don't know, Greg, if you or Amy had any closing words. If not,
I would just reiterate what you said, Your Worship. Thank you for the opportunity. I do want to congratulate and thank Amy and her staff in finance for the work they've done in pulling this together. I think we've improved the process every year since we've begun. You know, there's more improvements to make, but I think we've even come a little bit further this year. Also want to thank the directors of the departments who play a key role in pulling together the estimates for council, and that you know, ultimately get to Amy's desk and to my desk. And I do want to thank council for their support in getting this budget to this point. So thank you, Your Worship, for the opportunity to come.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'd ask for a motion to adjourn, please. Moved by Councillor Gilroy. We are adjourned. Thank you, folks. Bye for now.
Much for that, Greg. I appreciate it.
We'll have to get
this off and get